trying to do a bit of a video this morning. I just got over COVID and I threw my back out and had to go get a shot. Feeling better. My buddy Cam actually threw his out. I think he threw his out at work, but hope you feel better, brother. Praying for you. People that don't have this kind of thing really don't understand that, you know, a grown man that can't even walk, has to crawl around, or brings him to tears. It's frustrating. And the insurance companies, I ain't even gonna get started on them. There's the boss man. He'll probably knock the camera over. Hey, buddy, what you doing? Come here. Come here. See daddy. Come see daddy. Oh, there it is. I love you too, buddy. Careful, don't hurt that. Hey. But yeah, I wanted to try to get started on putting this motor mount on my big boat for my Coleman 2.6. I'll knock the camera over, buddy. Good job. But yeah, the thing I guess that I want to stress is, if you know, I know some of you is on kayaks and stuff, but this boat is a little different. It's sort of a hybrid, I guess, because it's not, they call it a canoe, it's not a canoe. It's way wider than a canoe, way stabler, but the thing is, with plastic, you have to remember that it's a tough boat. I mean, I've drugged this thing through hell and back, but the thing you have to remember is it's plastic, and when you get out in the sun, this plastic is more malleable, I guess would be the word, flexible, whatever. It flexes, and if you in the sun and it's not, right here where we live, it ain't nothing for it to be close to 100 degrees and the sun beating down on it, it does get kind of flexible. So when you put something like this on, you have to account for that. Just like I've done my seat here, I mounted a piece of plywood and anchored it good with some other wood behind me, and I put a trolling motor or motor mount out on the board. The thing is about these is I don't want the bigger outboard hanging off the side. Probably still gonna put my trolling motor on one of these. I hadn't decided yet. But the thing is, when I put this thing on, I have to account for the force that's gonna be every time I put it in forward or reverse. I've got to account for that, and I have to sturdy it up for that. And plastic just won't do that. So my material of choice for this is wood, of course, because one, wood's everywhere and it's cheap and it's tough and it usually solves most problems. I braced it up there, I'll show you in a minute, because I took the seat out that usually stabilizes that part of the boat for Dozer to be able to sit there and move around. But I put a piece of cross to stabilize it, because that's where my solar charger and battery and all that mess goes. Here I put a board across to stabilize the center, and I got my little bait table on there, my fish finder mount, and all that goes on here. I got a hook to hook an anchor rope. Anyway, you have to stable it up, especially if you're modifying. You have to think about what kind of force or you know, weight. You know, are you going to be walking on it? Are you going to be standing around on it? Are you going to be putting a motor on it? You just have to account for all these things. And I hadn't really planned how exactly I'm going to do this yet. I have an idea in my head. I'm actually going to tie it into my seat and my motor mount here, to where instead of the plastic flexing, it'll have some wood from this to there and be bolted to that where it can't move, if that makes sense. And it'll make more sense when I show you exactly what I'm talking about. So give me a minute, get you off that tripod, and I'll show you where I'm talking about putting it, and I'm gonna give you an idea how I'm gonna brace it. Okay, I'm gonna show you right here. Pardon the junk, that's a mountain of return. Anyway, you can see right here what I'm talking about, how I beefed up this thing. This is the original plastic seat, and I beefed it up, and you can see that piece of plywood I mounted under my seat all the way across, and then you can see the motor mount on this side and then on that side. But see, the motor mount, what do I do with it? Okay, the motor mount is gonna go somewhere right in there. that's not, you know, exactly. But what I'm gonna do is come off of this and run some wood up under here all the way back. I'm gonna try to do it with probably a 2x6, where I can bolt all 4 of these bolts through that wood and then screw that wood to this right here, because that's sturdy. I mean, it's really stable. This boat has a bilge pump, as you can see right there. It goes out this thing over here. There's a through hole fitting there that blows the water out that way. But anyway, this is where I got some wiring I'm gonna straighten out first, but that is the plan on where I'm gonna mount it, because I want the motor directly in the center of the rear where I'll get some better performance out of it. But I will get y'all turned around, and I'm gonna walk you through what I'm gonna do, and maybe it'll help some of y'all, maybe it don't. I know all y'all ain't got a boat like this, but it maybe will give you some idea of how to maybe do yours if you're thinking about it. But just always remember, because right here I can show you, let me get started around. You see these sides, up under these sides there's a piece of 2-inch or 1.5 inch plastic. See if I can get you out there where you can see it. There you go. You see that? That's really the only stability that these gunnels have, is that piece of pipe runs up to about right here where my hand is, and then under the rest of it up front ain't nothing. That's why that's not on there. But that's why I put this wood in there, to sturdy that up. And I mean, don't get me wrong, these boats are stable. I mean, I wouldn't worry about the thing collapsing on me, but I took this front seat out, and that front seat is what provided the side-to-side stability for this part. So I put this in because I set a big battery up here, and I got a solar charger and a solar panel that goes where those 2 little pieces of pipe are to keep my battery topped up. I won't use it as much now because I got the outboard to get me where I want to go, but I still want it when I'm fishing. But anyway, you can see how that seat right there is bolted with those 2 bolts, and that's your side-to-side stability. So I left the middle and the back one. Not so much worried about that back part. That seat, I actually found that seat at the lake. Me and Travis went, or not the seat mount. I found it when me and Travis was out fishing one day, and I needed one to raise it up. I wanted one to raise me up a little bit, but I don't know if I like that or not. I might be putting that thing and then just lowering that seat back down. But yeah, I've got a lot of work to do on this thing, and I'm gonna try to take y'all along with me. I know that I've been slacking on my content, but man, I'm just, like I told my buddy that threw his back out, he's younger than I am, but Lord, when the older you get, I mean, it seems like life just throws everything it can at you to slow you down. But my strength comes from the Lord. I asked him for help, and he helps me. And that's the best advice I can give to anybody. Now that, you know, I know there's a lot of y'all probably don't swing the same way I do. But that's my rock, is the Lord. And I'm not ashamed of it. So, like I said the other day when I posted a thing about sitting on the wall, if y'all hadn't seen that, it's in my community page. Yeah, it is what it is. I'm not ashamed of it. And if I lose some people over it, then so be it. I mean, I don't know what kind of person would unsubscribe from somebody because they believe in the Lord, but each to his own. But I don't care either way. I never started this to make money off of it. I never started it to, you know, be a YouTube sensation. I started it because the few things I have, you know, as far as knowledge goes, I try to share with others. And you know, that was the reason I started my channel. Everybody starts one for one reason or another. Another was it helps me deal with depression, and depression and the Lord helps me more than this. But the thing is, depression, you know, it's a weird thing. I've got a story like everybody else, and I've not shared it on here because I don't think it's relevant. But my depression comes from loss, and it's not monetary, or, you know, possessions of this world. It's, you know, loved ones lost. And, you know, but the Lord sees me through it. Anyway, that's all I'm going to say about that. Back to the boat. I'll get y'all turned around and show you how I'm going to mount this thing. Okay, guys, my genius cameraman thought he was recording. Not so much. Anyway, you can see it there. I'm going to stick you up under there so I can actually show you what I did. Okay, we go up under here. There you go. I hope you can see that. The front is a 2x4 mounted from side to side for the stability I was talking about. And then there's 2 bolts on the back with big fender washers. And this thing is, I mean, it's rock solid. But sorry that my cameraman didn't get the shot of me putting the board in there and all. But this thing is rock solid, and I'm gonna get another video of me mounting the motor on here and show you how good it holds the motor and how sturdy it actually is.